Okay, you're on.
Okay, hello and welcome to another lovely episode of How I Spent the Apocalypse, Crap Edition. Crap that I have to do that I don't want to do. Okay, so years ago, I was working for a lovely woman named Helen Kaler. In fact, she taught Hebrew before I had to do it.
Yeah.
And her daughter had come to visit, and she says, Selina, my daughter planted trees right against the house. I'm pretty sure they can't be there. Well, she planted silver maples. She literally planted them 6 inches away from her house because that was, she only had like 2 foot of right-of-way on that side of the house.
Yeah.
So I just dug them up, I brought them home, and I planted them.
Here.
Okay, here and here.
And here.
And they were lovely trees, and they did really, really well, because that was like 30-something years ago.
Yeah, it was 30 years ago.
And they did really, really well. About 12 years, and silver maples are not the hardiest trees anyway. But about, I want to say, Zeb is 14, so about 12 years ago, we were in the storm shelter.
This one right here.
I should tell this story on Sarah.
Oh yes, it's hilarious.
Anyway. Okay, so Sarah
if she did, she'd laugh.
Sarah does not like closed, confined spaces.
That's our daughter-in-law, by the way.
That's our daughter. This is Zeb's mom.
Yeah.
She does not like closed, confined spaces. And we're all in the storm shelter, and Meyer and I are standing in the tall part where we watch the storms. Mm-hmm. And then if they get hairy, we go into the part that's the walls. The walls in this part are literally this thick because it's a OSHA approved, which we got it because it's no longer, OSHA won't approve one that you can't stand up in.
Right.
But at the time it was made, it was an OSHA approved storm shelter with walls this 8 inches thick, roof 8 inches thick, and then I added that facade and filled it with rebar and concrete. So the walls to that and the ceiling on that are like this thick.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but not this part. This part, the walls are only that thick. The front part,
right.
Okay, because I made that. We built that. Okay. So we watch the storms there, and then if it gets hairy, we go into the hole. So Sarah was, well, I'm not going in there, and you guys just go in there and close the door, because I'm not going in there. So at one point, Meyer and I are watching the storms out the vent holes, because we could watch the trees. Up to the vents in the top. We had them open so we could watch it. We closed them when it's going to be bad. But anyway, we had it open so we could watch the storm. And at one point, the trees on one side were blowing east and the other ones were blowing west. And we were like, Meyer and I looked at each other and went like, that's not good. And so about the time we were getting ready to go in the hole anyway.
Close the vents, go in the hole.
A downspout. What are they called? Downburst. Downdraft or downburst.
Right.
Hit. Mm-hmm. And it sounded like an explosion when it hit these trees.
Well, it was. It exploded these trees.
What it did was, you can tell what it did was it took the tops out of these trees.
Both of them.
Out of both of them, which then had them struggling for, well, these last 12 years.
Yeah.
So Meyer and I were real quick running into the better part to shut the door because it was literally over us. When we went to do that, we were half thinking, because we had this plan, we'll just grab Sarah and drag her in. When we looked, Sarah was all the way in the storm shelter, all the way in the back.
Yeah.
I never saw her move.
She didn't. I swear she teleported.
At any rate, none of us saw her move. It was like a blinding light. But at any rate, we got in there. But that's what damaged these trees.
Yeah.
Was that downburst.
And now they aren't doing anything.
You can tell they're not even leafing out. So
they're gone.
They're dead. They're
dead.
supporting
a lovely crop of
and
what?
Okay, so the first step one, I've got to pull all the poison ivy off. Yeah. Because if you cut through it with the chainsaw and the freaking sawdust hits you, I'm not really that allergic, but every time I've got in the sawdust, which I thought I had the gloves and I don't, I must have taken them out of my pocket and put them somewhere.
We'll have to get them, yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to go get gloves. But at any rate, every time I've ever gotten poison ivy, it's been from the sawdust.
Right.
So the first thing I have to do is pull all that sawdust off the trees, and then I'll feed it to the goats.
Yeah, poison ivy. They love poison ivy.
That's one of the reasons that I don't get poison ivy so bad, because I feed it to the goats, and then when you drink the milk, it gives you a certain amount of immunity. We hope.
We hope.
Okay.
We'll be back.
I have to go get the gloves.
She's on the way back with the gloves, I think, but I want to show you the poison ivy on these trees. It's pretty bad, actually. And I will be filming from a little bit back because unlike Selina, I am pretty allergic. Okay.
Okay, so...
Oh, wait. I'm too close. Whoa, I don't need your nose hairs. There we go. Now, good.
Why not? Here, look. There's a good crop in there. Okay, so... I'm going to put some of this on first because this actually, because I don't like it when I do get poison ivy.
No, no.
Okay, so it's called Ivy Shield. And they probably don't make this anymore because I got it at a feed store on their clearance thing for, it was originally $9. I got it for $1. Okay, but it works really well. It actually goes, and I'm sure they have something else on the market, even if this doesn't exist, that will work. But basically, you put it on before.
Like lotion.
You're going to get into it. And then you wash it off afterwards. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it between where my shirt ends and my gloves begin.
Right.
So, and I'm also going to put a little bit on my neck.
Good idea. Probably your
just
face.
Just in case, well, just in case, because I don't like it when I do get it. I don't get it very often, but when I don't like greasy shit on my hands.
No.
I never have.
Mm-mm.
And neither one of my boys do either. Meyer can't stand it. Zeb can't stand it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the freaking ivy off, take it to the goats, and then I'm going to real quick get rid of these gloves, throw them away, and put this shirt right in the washer.
Right, and wash your hands and your face and everything, arms.
And you're going to say, why are you going to save that shirt? Why don't you just burn it? That's why you guys aren't making any money. Yeah. That's why you can't pay your bills. Because you think a perfectly good shirt like this is trash.
She wore it to town the other day. Oh my God.
Yes, and my wife is not really enamored of the way I go to town, but there you go.
Oh, she was going to the feed store and stuff. But
I was like, I don't give a shit. There's fucking rednecks around here. Why do I care what they think? I don't care what people think anyway.
Yeah.
I wish that was true. Don't we all wish that was true? We really do, though. We at least want the people that we care about to think kindly of us and shit. But it doesn't often happen. Let me tell you something. You probably don't want to hear this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I get tired of every time I write something on Facebook about how I don't like having to bust my ass for dysfunctional people, and how if you don't work for things, then you don't deserve things. Every time I do anything like that, I get this cascade of judgmental people judging me for what I feel because I'm judging. Well, first off, I didn't know you were a lazy piece of shit who didn't want to get up and do anything. Mm-hmm. That's first off. Second off, I do understand things like I'm disabled, I'm in pain. Guess what? So am I. But that doesn't matter. I understand people are disabled, people that they can't work. I get that. That's not what I'm saying. But I love that they think it's okay then to judge me for what I feel. Mm-hmm. This is what I feel. I am tired of cleaning up other people's dysfunctional shit.
Yep.
I would like to have time, energy, and money to do my shit. Mm-hmm. Instead of having to go in and fix this one's and that one's and everybody else's mess that they left for me to clean up.
Yep. Yep.
But I'm a judgy bitch.
Oh, yes, of course you are.
I'm a judgy bitch. They have no idea what I'm even talking about, but they're going to judge me for being judgy. Think about that the next time you decide you need to judge somebody for being judgy. Think about maybe it is perspective, people. Maybe it's all about perspective, and maybe you don't understand where they're coming from because you've never had to clean up somebody else's freaking mess.
What is that other stuff that's growing there?
That is Virginia creeper, and it is not poisonous.
Okay.
People often mistake it for poison ivy, for poison oak, but it's not. Okay, and here's something to know about poison ivy and poison oak. Poison sumac too, they're all the same. You've got, if you get it on your skin, you've got about 5 minutes to get it off. So if you get it on your skin and you go and wash really well, you're not going to get poison ivy.
You have to be super sensitive to get it if you do that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you're super sensitive, nothing's going to help. You have to do what I do. That's why I'm filming from back here.
She's like, no, I don't want to get around your poison ivy nightmare. So. And here's the thing. Okay, and so this is the thing. So, if I don't want to deal with this, this is what I'm talking about, people. Maybe this will make people understand, and maybe not. If I let this damn poison ivy grow here, I didn't get it freaking sprayed in time, or I didn't, what really happened was I didn't respray it when most of it didn't die. Okay? But now I don't want to dick with it, so I'm going to ask my son to come and dick with it.
Or better than that, you're just going to leave it for him to deal with it.
Yeah.
God knows how many years from now.
Call him and say, hey, I need you to come over and do this. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. That ain't right. I allowed this mess. I didn't want it. I didn't make it. You might even say I was up to my ass in alligators, and it was the last thing on my mind. But here's the thing. It's my problem. I'm cleaning it up myself. I'm not asking anyone else to do it. Okay, so got all of that off that one. Now I gotta go get it off
the other one. Is bad.
The other one is harder to reach the saw too. What a pain in the ass.
Yay, great.
But there you go. But anyway, that's my bitch for the day. I'm tired of being judged for being judgy.
Okay.
It's like, really? I'm judgy because I don't like things that happen to me and not to you?
Okay, so you want me to come back after you finish pulling off poison ivy?
Well, you can, yeah, come back. We'll go feed it to the goats and they can see what.
That sounds good.
They can see how the goats like it.
Yep. Okay, really quick, while she's pulling all of that poison ivy and Virginia creeper and stuff off, I want to show you, because I'm sure some of you may have noticed, and if you haven't, you will, that the lawn is kind of high. See that? The grass is kind of high, kind of thick, and you're saying, well, why don't you mow that? Why are you letting that go? Blah, blah, blah. Well, granted, the first time she cuts this down, it's going to be pretty high, but two things are getting accomplished. Well, three things. Number one, everything that's blooming in here is something that the bees love, and the bees are going nuts right now. It's that time of year. They're just hitting every one of these little blooms, and there's been a whole lot of others, different types. We've got epichat growing here. We've got the buttercup. We've got oh goodness, stars of Bethlehem. We've got lots of stuff blooming in here, and lots of just plain old wildflowers and clover. So why does she leave it? Well, first the bees. Second, the second reason she does it is because it will go to seed. And if you've priced seed recently, seed is insanely expensive. And yes, we seed our lawns and our pastures and stuff often. So if she lets it go to seed, that saves a fortune in seed. And then third, the first time she mows this and it's so tall, she will gather it all up. She'll let it dry, gather it all up, bag it up, and it will make hay. So she's got lots of reasons for letting it go. And this is totally intentional. This is not a time thing. This is totally intentional. And get ready to take this to the goats, I think. So I'm going to go with her.
A wee bit of poison ivy.
Just a wee bit? You found an iris. Look at that.
I got to pick all this up too.
Yeah, I know. I see you found an iris.
I pulled an iris up, so that means it wasn't very well rooted, so it can go someplace else for the chlorine. So.
Just a little bit. Now the stuff that's higher up on the tree that you can't reach is okay to...
That is all, some of that is poison ivy.
Yeah, some of it is.
So I'll have to watch it when I take it down. But most of it is...
Virginia creeper.
Yeah, oh, wait a minute, I might be able to get that. You missed the line down here. Most of it's Virginia creeper up tall. No, that was it.
That's it. Okay. But on the other stuff over there, when it comes down, you can pull it.
Yep.
Yeah. And you won't be cutting through it, because you're going to be cutting below it. Yeah. Hopefully cutting below it, anyway.
Okay. Welcome to pollen land.
Yes.
All right. I'll take this over.
We're going on a walk across the pasture.
Yeah, this time of year I always run the gambit between wanting to mow and knowing that I need to let things lay for a minute. You can see the bees are super active today.
Yes, we have bees in the eaves of our house. It is intentional.
Come, goats! Come, goats! Come, goats! Come, goats! Come, goats! Yes, I know, such an original call I have for the goats. It works.
Yes, it does. They recognize it. And here they are. Look at them. That tail just a wagging.
They have a whole pasture full of super tall grass.
Yes.
That's the best thing they've ever eaten in their life.
Notice the gloves are coming off immediately.
Okay, so I got the gloves off. Now I'm going to take my shirt off and put it right in the wash.
So we won't follow you for that. We don't get to watch you strip.
These right in the fire.
Yep.
And,
We'll be back.
right in the trash and wash my hands. Okay, I'm going to cut this at an angle here and try to drop this here. I want to drop it first because I want to be able to get in where I want to get in, as low as I want to get in, because this one's the ones that's going to try to twist back this way. I'm trying to drop it at least straight down, but I would rather drop it out that way so I don't even have the thin limbs hitting the fork.
Right.
But that's probably asking for more than it can do. So.
Okay, she's going to trim this up. I'm cutting it off. to try to fell this one before her saw dies, so, because she can use the small saw for the other stuff. Wow. Perfect. Perfect. By the way, those power lines are a lot farther away than they look. And now for the cleanup.
right, so I'm going to tell you a couple of things because you couldn't see it while I was doing it, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that I did. Okay, but you can see here why the trees had to come down.
Yeah, that's hollow all the way through.
That's all hollow.
And it's also dry. We could burn it tonight.
That's dead.
Yeah.
So I was right. They were completely dead. So, yeah, none of the sap came up. They were doing badly in the fall.
Yeah.
And I had decided in the fall that I would take them out before they leafed out. But as you can see, the other trees have all leafed out. There's no leaves. This is dead.
Yep.
It's like, if there's any life in it at all, it's not much. Because look at that.
Yeah. Yep.
That doesn't happen to green wood.
Nope.
So, first off, why did I cut? Well, thank you again, Gene Stunts, for the chainsaw.
Yes.
That would have been much harder with a smaller saw. Okay, so as you can, I don't know if you can see it.
I told him when you were cutting, I told him about the wedge.
Yeah, I cut a wedge on the back side of this one because I needed this one to fall this way because look up there. That's electrical wires.
And they're farther away than you think, but
I needed it to fall this way.
At an angle.
And not this way.
Right.
Okay, which meant that I had to put in a notch. And the notch, where did it go? Which way did it go? And again, you can see the trunk is completely dead.
Yeah, well, and how light is that?
Yeah. And it's maple, so if it was full of
sap, it would be heavy, yeah.
Where the hell did that little wedge thing go that I cut out of there?
I don't know.
I don't have any idea.
It had life in it. It disappeared.
Anyway, so I cut it. I cut it mostly flat here, which may seem counterintuitive, but all I need is a notch for it to fall into.
Right.
So then I cut the other one here, and I had it come this way down into this. Then, when I cut this, I don't cut it all the way through.
No.
I wait.
And let it start cracking.
Okay, so when it starts cracking, I get the hell out of the way, and it falls into the notch area, and it fell just exactly where I wanted to, because it missed the wires completely, and it didn't cream my catawba tree.
Right, this tree right next to it.
What I did not do so well on was there was a little pear here that I was trying to keep.
And it's right on top of it.
Right on top of it.
Yay.
Although I may be able, as light as it is, I may be able to, yep. Yeah, that's obviously dead, people.
Yeah, they just lifted that entire.
You pick up a piece of maple that big and I am not that, well, I should use that. I was like, look how strong I am. I'm Hoss.
Well, you are, but that is a dead tree.
All you young femme women, you know.
Yeah, stay away.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, and what I did was I cut, okay, so the chainsaw, it's a great chainsaw. But the chainsaw, once it runs through a tank of gas, it does not want to start again.
No.
For a while, it gets vapor locked. So, which is not unusual for chainsaws and
gas saws,
small engines in general. So I have to leave it alone long enough, so I'm cleaning this up. But what I did was I cut this first so it's out of the road.
Right.
Because the church people will be back this afternoon.
Right.
So now I have to get all this out of the way, and once I get that out of the way, I can continue to work on the rest of it, and it won't be in their way.
Right.
So even if I don't get it, if the saw won't, because sometimes it does that. Sometimes I can't get it to start all day after I've run it.
But it cut all of this.
But it cut all of this, and now it's out of the road. I just have to pick it up. And, okay, so for somebody else, whole lot of crap to get rid of. For us, wonderful stuff to go in our lovely fire pit.
Yes, for the bonfire, next bonfire,
because when we have guests like you,
you
could come stay here.
Yes.
I would make you a bonfire.
Yes.
I would feed you food.
Good food.
Yeah. And we could sit around and bullshit about crap and bitch about the Republicans. If you don't want to bitch about the Republicans, don't come here. At any rate, so, and this will be firewood. In fact, I'm hoping that Lynn will take this in, take the camera, and take a picture of how much wood we have in there.
Right, so that we can see how much it is.
So that you can see how much I'm going to get out of this, because I'm going to guess a half to 3/4 of a rick. And that's before I tackle the stumps, which I may not do until fall.
Yeah.
Depends on how hoss I'm feeling. Because, you know, I am old. There is that.
Well, and we do have a house to finish painting and other things.
I am old. I am in constant pain from the CFS.
Yeah.
And I do have diabetes. So that's another reason. I get tired of people saying, you're judging people and they have mental illness and they have disabilities. It's like, I'm the poster child for mental illness, people. And as for disabilities, yes, I have many. I have so much copper compression right now on me that if you threw a quarter on me, it would bounce. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging your situation because I don't know what your situation is.
Yeah.
I'm just judging humanity as a whole because humanity sucks. But not you, because you're watching my channel.
There you go.
Although you're not making me any money, I need you to make me some money.
Okay,
all right, so
go away for now.
Go away. I gotta get on.
Okay, and here's a shot of the woodshed right now. That is one stack thick in the back, and you can tell that on the bottom it's less than half. And she'll have to tell you how much each one of those stacks are. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that this was almost full at the beginning of this winter. It is now April 23rd, I believe, something like that. And it's supposed to be 38 tonight, so we're going to need another fire. Anyway, if you hear Al in the background, that's because he knows the girls have had something that he hasn't had, so I'm going to go feed him something. Not poison ivy, because I can't deal with that. But anyway, we'll be back. 30 minutes later, we're not done by any means, but down to piles of what we're going to do with. Those buckets are going in to heat the house tonight. And basically, you can see that the driveway access, parking and everything for the people across the street is completely accessible. So she's still running stuff back and forth. She's got probably one more load from that tree over there in the distance to take to the fire. The rest will eventually become firewood. It's just going to take her a while to get the trunks down. And they can sit there because that's our property. She's cutting. As far through as she can. She'll do it from the other side. case you're wondering what I'm doing while she's doing this, I'm coming behind her and filling up the trailer. This is the second load.
There you go.
It's the end of the...
That took all day.
Yep, that took several hours. Yes, it did.
Yeah, so it took most of the day. But we're going to have a lot of firewood when we get done.
Yep.
We have a whole brush pile.
Yep.
Trees are down, which is the main thing.
Yep.
And it cost me a couple of tanks of gas.
Yep.
And years of expertise.
Yes, because you have actually worked in the deep woods.
Yeah, I used to
felling lumberjack, yeah.
So back in days when I was young.
Yeah. So don't try this on your own if you don't know what you're doing, because you could bring a tree down on you or on your property really easily.
Well, yeah. So I'm teaching you some ways to do it.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Still, practice.
I showed them. I showed them this because there's the wedge you took out.
Yeah, but here's the thing: practice on trees that are easy to fall.
Right. So you know where they
go.
go.
Go ahead and practice. See, oh, if I cut a notch, can I do that?
Yeah.
Practice on trees that are easy to fall, that aren't going to fall on anything.
Yep. There you go.
There you go.
We'll do a little more when we see how much wood we got. This is the next morning, and everything's clean, mowed. She's still got a few things, the smaller branches she's going to cut up and stack, and I will add that picture of how much wood there is. I will add that at the end of this. But she got tired of looking at the trunks, so she took them down as low as she's going to take them. And that wood will either get added to the bonfire or she'll split it depending on how she feels. Okay, these 3 buckets are going to be enough for these mild nights that we're having, getting into the high 30s, low 40s. We've already burned 2 of them, and this came from the trees. And Selina says there are 2 more buckets that she's already cut that she can bring over when we need it. So that's part of the wood that we got. Then I'm going to show you the woodshed. Okay, hopefully the dogs will let me do this. So this is the woodshed again, and Selina told me that up to the top of the fence pickets on each side, almost to the top of the fence pickets, makes 2 ricks, which is basically a cord of wood. Those really big gnarly logs on the top of that back row she added from the trees she just felled. So the back row is actually more than 2 ricks right now. And then on this front row, the lighter ends are what she added yesterday. So she's definitely added more than a rick of wood from the trees that she felled yesterday. And of course, as I told you just now, we've already burned 2 buckets. She's got 3 more in there, and then 2 more that she hasn't brought to the house yet. So quite a lot of wood from felling those trees. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed.